Hello and welcome to C# tutorials for beginners. I am Ajit Srivastava and this is part 21 where we'll be discussing what is properties in C#. So if you'll basically see the definition, you can simply understand property as a extension of fields, that is whatever the data member or method we have. So it's kind of a mixture of those things. So basically through property what we can do is we can have a private member being exposed through property so that we can have encapsulation properties. So what do you mean by encapsulation? Maybe we'll understand once we'll understand the properties, but for now you simply understand that properties are being used to achieve encapsulation. Okay, let's directly jump to Visual Studio. We'll see what is the use of these properties. Okay, so if you remember, this is the sample program, sample student class we have created in last session, where we had just two data member, which is first name last name as public, and we had a member method called get full name, which was just returning the full name of the student, right? And this was the way which we were accessing the name. So now let's say there is a requirement where I don't want to expose this first name and last name. I want to expose only full name. Okay, how we can achieve this? We can have this private. Okay, private, let's append underscore. Okay, so basically this is just a coding practice. Any private variable should have a underscore. So this comes under best practices, nothing else. Okay, so how to have a property, right? So let's say you want to have a public property, which should be public means it should be accessible from outside of this class, right? So if you are not aware of these things, I would recommend you to go to part 20 where we have discussed about access modifier in great details. Okay, so this is public, let's say string, and I'll say string first name. Okay, so to have a property, what we can do is, so if you'll see the definition, what it suggests is through which data of private members can be accessed, modified using accessors, right? So property will have nothing but accessors. There are two kind of accessor we have. One we call as a getter, another one we call as a setter. So getter will be used to get the value, okay, and setter will be used to set the value. So how we write those getter and setter? So it will be something like this, get. So at the time of getting, what we want to return? We want to return the value of first name. So we'll simply say return underscore first name, right? Similarly, let's properly indent it so that it will be easy to read. Okay, similarly we'll have setter. So setter will be written using set, and here I want to, whatever the value that I'll be assigning to this property should be saved to this first name, right? So to do that, what you have to do is simply first name equals, so here you have to give value. So you can see value is not defined here, but internally what C# will do is whatever the value that will be assigned to this particular variable, it will basically store that value in this value, and then it will store in first name. So this is one of the properties for first name. Okay, similarly let's copy it, we can have for last name, right? Just have here, change this. So now you have two properties, public properties, okay, for these two private variable, which is nothing but your getter and setter, right? Now get name, either you can use either this, okay, or you can simply use the private. So since we have defined it, let's use it here, right? So this is the only change we are doing. And now here, since these members variable will not be able to access because these are private, we will be able to access this public property. So let's change this to first, and let's change to last, right? Let me do one thing, let me put a debugger here so that you will come to know when getter is called and when setter is being called, right? With that, let's start. So press F5 or click on start. So you can see here debugger hits here, press F10. So it will create a student object. Now I am trying to assign Ajit value to first name properties. Okay, so press F10. You can see this setter is being called. That means whenever you try to assign any value to a property, it will always call setter of that property. Okay, so if you'll see the value part, the value is whatever the value we are assigning, right? And if you'll see first name, since that statement is not executed, currently first name is null. Press F10. Now if you'll see the value should be assigned here. So now first name value is Ajit, right? Similarly, it will do for last name, and once you call get full name, let's dig inside F10. So if you are not aware of these debugging sessions, how to debug the code and all, so in part 18 we have discussed about this, where we have discussed in details like how to put breakpoint, how to check the values, how to get the evaluation of particular statement, how to change a particular value in runtime. All those things we have discussed in great details in part 18. So if you are not familiar with debugging, I would strongly recommend you to go to part 18 and have the debugging idea there. Okay, so if you'll see get full name function we called, right? Within that we are calling first name. So just press F10. You can see here you want to fetch a value from a property, it will call getter method. Okay, so this is get accessor we call it. Okay, so it will call getter, or you can simply say get accessor. Okay, so you can see here it will simply return the value Ajit, right? So press F10 and you can see the value is that is getting from this first name is Ajit, right? So press F5. Oh, it's not printing anything. Let's see. Yeah, because we have not printed here. So let's add that line. So here string full name equals console dot right, and this F5. Again, let's print F5. Okay, so just print F5. We are here. If you'll see this, it was calling first name, right, Ajit. We were pressing F5 and you should be able to see Ajit Srivastava, right? So this is the simple property, okay, with the access modifier. And basically here what we are trying to achieve is we are trying to achieve encapsulation, okay, where we don't want to basically expose our sensitive data here, okay, and we just wanted to have this, right? Another example we can use for property, like what we can do is instead of having a particular method to get the full name, we can have this as a property. How we can achieve that? Delete this. We can have public string and it will have just a property full name, right? So here you will see I have get. You will simply return, what you will return is string dot format, right? And here you will simply have 0 space 1, right? And the value that will be giving is yours as is first name. So you can use here property. Since last time we have used property, so let's use the private variables, right? So private we can use it here because we are using in the class, because we are using in the same class, right? Last name, right? Then we'll have a setter. So let's say I don't want user to set the full name, right? What I want to do is user has to use this property to set the first name and last name, and user will simply use this property to get the full name. I don't want user to basically set the full name itself, right? Can we achieve this? Yes. So a property can have either only getter or a property can have either only setter. Okay, So let's say for setter, what you can do is we'll remove this getter. Okay, so now what our program is currently doing is, our program is allowing user to set the first name and last name. Okay, but user cannot get it. Okay, and our program is allowing user to get the full name. So in this way we are trying to hide this particular data. Okay, and we are simply exposing one more properties to expose the first name and last name. There could be a scenario like you will not be exposing this, based on this you will be returning something else. We will discuss those scenario later on, but for now you just simply understand that property is nothing but a special kind of data member, right, which is extension of, you can say, a data member. Okay, which will deals in accessor. So accessor will be of two type here, getter and setter, or we can say get accessor or set accessor. Okay, you can have any one of them, you can have both of them inside the property, right? And getter and setter, you can treat them as a method. Okay, so whatever the logic that we'll be writing here will get executed here, right? We'll have certain more example. Okay, but for now you simply understand this, and let's try to modify this. Now we don't have get full name, so we'll simply have full name. So here what we'll do is, instead of having this total line, we'll simply have the student object here dot full name, right? Let's try to run this. Press F5, and you should be able to see as it says, right? So this is the basic use of getter and setter. Okay, now what I want to do is, let's take another example. Let's create one more class, public class number. Okay, so I am having a number. Okay, here what I want to do is, I want to have a properties private int underscore first number. Okay, private int underscore second number, right? Now let's say I want to have a property, let's say I am saying it public int addition. So what I want to do is, I'll simply add first number and second number and I'll return that, right? So here again I don't want to have any setter here, so we'll have some get, and here we can have any logic, return underscore first number plus second, right? So here within this you can think of this as a function body. Okay, so anything any logic you can simply write here, and whenever you call getter of addition, means whenever you try to get the value of this addition property, this body will get executed. So you can have any logic here. It's not like you will be simply accessing the private variable. You can have any logic whatever you want. Even you can call a function here. So let's say I have a function called int get addition, right, which will be simply returning the addition underscore first number plus underscore second, and you can simply call it here. So it simply say return get addition, that's it, right? If you'll simply try to run this, so let's don't create this. What we'll do is, we'll create now number object. Okay, so number object num equals new num. Okay, let's have a constructor so that we can initialize those number. So how we can have a constructor? Simply public, will not have any return type, number. Okay, let's have int first second, this is also integer space, and initialize those numbers, right? So underscore, or better it is to use this dot first number equals first, right, and this dot underscore second number equals second, right. This is not underscore, right. So we have initialized it. Now what we'll do is new number will pass the value 10, 20. Then now we'll simply call this. So num dot, or instead of there, let's directly print it. So what we'll do, addition num dot will call addition property, and we are done. So what we are doing is we have two private variables, okay, and then what we are doing is we have a constructor to initialize these values. But this is nothing but parameterized constructor. If you are not aware of these things, I would recommend you to go to part 19 where we have discussed about classes, and within that we have discussed about all the different type of constructor that we can have. Okay, we have another property which will not be doing anything but just calling the get addition function, and whatever the value it is having, it will simply return those, right. Let's run this. Press F5 and you should be able to see the value 30 there, right. So 30 is here, right. So this is simple properties and the way you can use this property. Now one question arises, do we really need to have a private data member, then have a properties which will be exposing those data member and all, right. So let's go back to our student program. Okay, so if we'll come here, so what we are doing is we have a private data member, then we have a public property, right. So do we really have to have this? No, there is some shortcut also that CSAP is provided. So what you can do is, since this private variable is being used only within the class and it will be of no use outside the class, one way to implement this, if you don't want to hide certain data and your logic is just as simple as this, like having the value and it's get exposed using your public properties, right. In that scenario, what you can do is just remove this, okay, and simply have this. Get and set, that's it. Similarly, get it and have set it. So if you'll have a code like this, right, just a simple getter setter, you will not provide any implementation of those getter setter, then CSAR will automatically take care of all those private declaring or creating the private data member and using it. Okay, so if you simply want to have a data member as a property, okay, it's better to use the short form, which is just provide a get set and you are done. Okay, and how to use this? Simply say first name, comma, last name, right. So this is default getter setter we call as, right. We are not providing any functionality here. So now this is not available. Let's again create the instance. Student equals new student, okay, and a student dot, you can simply use like this, equals G student dot last name equals Srivastava, right. Then we can simply print the full name, right. Press F5. You should be able to see Ajit Srivastava, right. Okay, so one more shortcut that CSAP provided is, what you have to do is you simply type prop, P-R-O-P, right, and double tap on tab key, right? So what it do is it will create a default property, okay, and then it will highlight here. So simply you type string, press on tab, okay, it will select the next properties, you modify the name, let's say gender, right, and you're done. So your property is ready. So what you have to do is, let's see once again, type prop, double click on tab key, okay, it will create the property for you. Simply you start modifying, okay, then again tab, it will select the name, you start changing it. So this is the faster way to create any property in C#. Okay, prop, then just double tap on tab key and it will create the property for you. By default it will be integer and property name will be my property. You start just typing the name and change the type of the property whatever you want, right? So as we have discussed, right, you can understand property as a extension of fields. What is fields? Fields are nothing but data member or method. So since these are combination, that's why I'm saying that these are extension of both data member as well as for the methods, right? Why we use property? To achieve encapsulation. What is encapsulation? Means hiding certain details, okay, which is not useful to the users, and whatever the thing that we want user to see, only those things will be exposing to user. Okay, through property we can basically access or modify the data of private members, right, by using accessors. Accessor means our getter or setter, right? So this is what I had for properties. Okay, if you have any doubt, please comment. I'll try to answer your questions. Please do like, share and subscribe these videos. Okay, thank you. Have a good day.